An Otago man who murdered his neighbour after years of feuding has been in prison for at least 11 years. 60-year-old Stephen Findlay last week pleaded guilty to killing Sharon Comerford in the settlement of Seacliff last year, just north of Dunedin, of course. But at his sentencing today in the High Court in Dunedin, the defence took the unusual step of arguing Findlay was severely provoked. Our Otago Southern reporter Ian Telfer was in court.
Stephen Findlay was due to stand trial for the murder last week when he unexpectedly sought an indication of the sentence and pleaded guilty. His lawyer, Judith Ablett-Kerr QC, said from the start the problem's been that Findlay doesn't have any memory of the day he killed Ms Comerford, nor the weeks after. But she says the events pieced together show their relationship was volatile.
Both the deceased and the defendant were alcoholics. And unfortunately, the deceased, it seems, was bipolar as well, so that added to the dimension. The relationship was up and down. There had been occasions when the physical and psychological abuse had been extreme as far as this man was concerned.
The court heard Findlay lived in a house truck next door to Ms Comerford, and the pair had a 6-year relationship in which they often drank together and fought. Things came to a head when he complained to the police twice that she had deliberately driven at him with her car and trailer, but nothing was done. That night, Findlay went to her house and bashed her to death, before shooting himself the next morning in the nearby Truby King Reserve, an act his lawyer called the ultimate sign of remorse. His face had to be reconstructed and he lost one eye. Today in the High Court in Dunedin, Justice Rachel Dunningham said the killing was brutal, but there had been significant ongoing provocation.
Taking into account your remorse, your guilty plea, the far-reaching consequences of your self-inflicted injury, and also the level of provocation experienced by you, I consider it would be manifestly unjust to impose the mandatory minimum of 17 years of imprisonment in this unusual combination of circumstances.
Justice Dunningham sentenced Findlay to life imprisonment with a minimum non-parole period of 11 years. Sharon's two sisters read victim impact statements, telling the court it had hit them hard. Her identical twin sister Jackie said Sharon was funny and an extremely talented artist, and her death had been terrible. Her other sister, Debbie Ogle, said with the right help, Sharon could have turned her life around.
In later years, Sharon and I became estranged from each other, but to me, that definitely has not diminished the loss. This death isn't the same as someone who died of a disease or of a road accident. The horror of how Sharon was taken from me makes the impact far greater.
There remain questions for the police about their role. They called it a shooting death, but it emerged last week Ms Comerford had actually been assaulted. And it's not clear why Findlay had contacted police multiple times in the weeks before, but received little assistance. But outside court, Ms Comerford's sisters praised their handling of the case.
Can't say enough. Both victim support, New Zealand Police, and now our team of detectives and prosecution, they're certainly outstanding.
The sisters say 11 years doesn't feel like enough of a sentence, but it's a relief that the case is now closed. In Dunedin for Checkpoint, Ian Telfer.